rules. We're going to do some rules. We're going to do some poop talking. Brian doesn't think I can eat 20 sliders. He will be sorely mistaken.
It's more than 5 pounds of meat.
He's going to learn a lesson, and I'm going to be his instructor. I bet you're not the only one, though, who doesn't think I can eat 20 burgers.
I mean,
Chuck's position is older Franz, a 95 pounds heavier Franz might have been able to do it. But skinnier iteration of Franz can't do it.
It's 5 pounds of meat in one sitting.
I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go here. You ready? I still, inside of me, there's a fat, raging little boy that wants to get out.
All right.
20 sliders. Probably 25.
You ready?
Yes.
All right, stand by.
Episode 40 of the Geaux Rouge Show. Welcome back. This is Franz Borkart. Master Controls is Brian Haldane. We took a week off for Hurricane Laura that ended up not being a hurricane here, but our thoughts and prayers go out to all those affected by the storm, especially our brothers and sisters in Lake Charles and surrounding areas. It was hitting northeast pretty badly yesterday, and I know that because I was on the phone with somebody from Pennsylvania, and the weather was pretty erratic. So again, our thoughts and prayers. We took a week off, but now we're on episode 40, and we've got a wonderful lineup today. Our lineup today is we've got Wendy Overton from Nexus, Louisiana. We've got Danny Fields talking about his new consulting business. We've got artist Abe, from Abes Drawing, wonderful guy who's an engineer and an artist. And I discovered him at Sweet Baton Rouge, the new location in Electric Depot. And last but not least, Brian, there's been a challenge issued. There's been a challenge issued that I can't eat 20 sliders from small sliders.
Hang on. Let's be very clear about this. This was started by you declaring you could eat 20 sliders.
First I said sliders aren't real burgers.
Correct.
And then I said I could eat 20 sliders in my sleep. So we're not doing the competition today, folks. What we're going to do today is set up the guidelines, the rules.
There are rules. There need to be parameters.
This isn't NOM. There are rules.
Right.
So we're going to have that in our final segment. We're going to have that discussion. Before we jump in to our first guest, though, the Geaux Rouge Show is brought to you by our very generous sponsors, Breck Parks, Sullivan's Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurants. They are, dude, if you're looking for a good meal in this COVID-19 world, go to Sullivan's. The Borkart Law Firm, Louisiana Tech Park, the Smith Shanklin Sosa Personal Injury Law Firm. That's your go-to personal injury law firm. One of my, when people call me up and say, hey, who would you recommend for a personal injury case? That's who I recommend. And last but not least, La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with your custom-made from-scratch breakfasts. I try to eat breakfast there as much as possible. Those are our sponsors. Without those guys, we wouldn't have a show. Last but not least, before we jump into Wendy, if you want more information about the show, go to www.GeauxRouge.com. And if you want to send us a show topic, if you have a great idea for a show topic, go email us at info@GeauxRouge.com. Without further ado, we have Wendy Overton from Nexus, Louisiana, NexusLA. Wendy, how's it going?
I'm great, Franz.
How are you doing? How's life?
It's doing pretty well. I've got 3 kids in virtual school at home.
Oh.
So we are having fun sharing bandwidth while I'm working from home as well.
I will take that at face value, that last comment, having fun sharing bandwidth. So you're here today. So look, Louisiana Tech Park's one of our sponsors. We have a great working relationship with your entity, Nexus LA, or Nexus Louisiana. You're here today to talk to us about the Resolve Initiative, a virtual event series created to provide a platform and open dialogue discussion in local Baton Rouge and South Louisiana community to create equality in entrepreneurship. Now we had Genevieve on to talk about this initially. Let's talk about the fact that you guys are about to launch like on September 10th, right?
September 10th. Yep, that's our first session.
So what is that going to look like, Wendy?
So that's going to be styled as a loose roundtable program where it's going to be just a discussion that talks about where we are, what's been happening, and just kind of raise some of the overall concerns, issues, areas of improvement, things that we as a community need to just kind of think about and understand where we are and what we need to be doing. We then have a 3-part series 2 weeks later that will kind of deeper dive into some of the issues that'll be raised during that first community discussion. I know that we've got some investors and entrepreneurs that are booked to be part of the panel, plus those that are just involved in a lot of the ecosystem support that are designing programs to support entrepreneurs. But in general, it's going to be a great opportunity for the entire community to discuss how do we level the playing field.
So if you want to attend, Wendy, how would you attend? What does it cost? How would you go about registering for a seat, a virtual seat?
Sure. This is a virtual event, so it'll be on Crowdcast. It's a chance for people to stay home, stay safe, log in from wherever they are to join this event. It'll be from 10 to 11:30 each of the days of the event. To register, go to NexusLA.org, and you'll see the link for the Resolve series, and you can register there. It is free, and we're very grateful to our sponsors for helping us keep these things free.
NexusLA.org, you can register. And look, when we talk about equity, let's get to the specifics. We're talking about an equal playing field for minorities, for alternative entrepreneurs. What spawned this idea?
So the idea of equity is about making sure that it's equitable, which is different than inclusion. It's different than diversity. Those are all different aspects of the same issue. I think one thing that we don't talk a lot as a community is what does the end goal look like? Mm-hmm. I would say it's a place where everyone has a truly equal shot, that is and a seat at the table and access to resources. And all those are things that if they don't exist, we need to spend some time deliberately building them. You know, there's a lot of minorities that don't have generational wealth.
Right.
They don't have access to people that have resources. And so things like the friends and family investment round for a business idea, that's something that's kind of out of reach. And so while they technically, they can fill out paperwork and technically accept revenue, they don't have the opportunity to get the friends and family investment to move to the next level. So we have to create that artificially until we've got those connections and networks built.
So NexusLA, talk to us a little bit about, so I deal predominantly, Wendy, as you know, with Tech Park, but Tech Park is a hand, if you will, of NexusLA. Talk to us a little bit about the goals of NexusLA, because this fits into the wheelhouse of what you guys are striving for in our community, correct?
Yes, very much, very much. So Nexus Louisiana, it's our business trade name for the Research Park Corporation, which was founded by the state of Louisiana back in the 90s. We're a 501c3, not a state agency, and our mission is to support high-tech, high-impact entrepreneurs. We do that with 4 different types of activities. One is we nurture tech-enabled, high-impact ventures. We build the tech workforce. We connect our entrepreneurs to capital, and we're building the capital continuum. And we are focused on building an inclusive entrepreneur ecosystem. And that means that everyone knows that the resources available, they have access to those resources, they feel supported and that they're part of a community, that they're going to get the same opportunity to have people make referrals or invest in them or take the call. And those are all things that we just have to build in to make sure that we can accomplish them. But we focus on all 4 of those areas at Nexus Louisiana.
So NexusLA.org, September 10th, Resolve program. This certainly sounds like an excellent discussion, virtual, so you don't have to leave your home. You just got to have access to a virtual internet source. Anything we need to know before I let you go, Wendy?
We just want people to know that everyone is welcome and involved. They're part of this discussion. Whether you are a business professional or a government official or you're working at a nonprofit, these are challenges that we're going to have to collectively make some commitments and resolve to change. So please spread the word. It's a great chance for us to make Baton Rouge into the kind of place that we're all proud to live in and where everyone has a fair and inclusive and well-supported economic situation.
So before I let you go, we got a couple minutes left, Wendy. Before I let you go, we've been flirting with the idea of having some of y'all's wonderful entrepreneurs on the show. I wasn't able to line it up this week, but in the near future, we've got some amazing behind-the-scenes entrepreneurs that are doing some awesome stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about those entities? I already know about them, but I want you to tell us a little bit about them because I don't think people realize what we have going on here.
Yeah. So one of our member companies at Louisiana Technology Park is a game design company called Pixel Dash Studios, and they've been making games, and then they started doing some corporate VR contracts. But lately, they have been crushing it. They made a VR interactive experience for the movie Chucky, and just recently they launched a VR experience for Bill and Ted 3. So you can go see that on go to our Facebook page and you'll see the link to that video. And it's just amazing that here the studio in Baton Rouge is hooked into and making these world-class experiences.
So, Wendy Overton, NexusLA, thank you so much for joining us this week. We certainly are going to continue to have you guys on the show, and we appreciate y'all's support of the Geaux Rouge show. We wouldn't be able to do it without sponsors like you guys. So definitely check out www.nexusla.org and click on the Resolve link for our first virtual event. It's going to be September 10th. Wendy, thank you so much and have a great day.
Thanks so much for having me, Franz.
Yes, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Man, I love what they're doing for equity, Brian. I love the fact that they're trying to level the playing field for entrepreneurs, especially with what's going on around the world right now. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Now, changing gears a little bit. Do you know Danny Fields, Brian?
I do.
So Danny, who's kind of a big deal. I mean, I'm not really on Danny's level, but Danny's kind of a big deal. And Danny just announced a very cool new transition gig for himself. He's opening a consulting firm, and I thought it'd be fun to have him on. So let's welcome Danny Fields on. Danny, what's going on, brother?
Hey, good morning, Franz. How are you?
Dude, I'm just living in your world, man. Just a squirrel. So,
hey, can I say hi to my buddy Brian, a fellow St. Paul's Wolf over there too?
You can say hello to him, and I won't hold it against you that you both went to St. Paul's.
Nothing to be held against us, man. Greatest place on the planet.
So
that's right.
I was just saying, Danny, that you're kind of a big deal. So
that's a classic overstatement.
So well, you know, you're humble enough to take it. So at the heels of you doing this awesome campaign for this great foundation that we will name, you decided recently to start your own consulting gig, correct?
Yeah.
So walk me through where you were and why it is that you decided to leave and start this up.
So the foundation that you mentioned earlier, I had a wonderful career at Our Lady of the Lake Foundation for almost the last 14 years.
You did some amazing things there.
Well, we did a lot of amazing things with a lot of great people,
right,
locally and around the country, to help us build this beautiful brand new children's hospital that's going to impact kids and their families for generations to come. And it was a project that I was fortunate to be a part of from really the very infant stages early on in my tenure there through its completion in October of 2019. And it's just something that, you know, I love the team. I love the mission of the sisters that they set forth over 100 years ago here in Louisiana. I still love that mission very dearly. But it was the right time for me circumstantially to make a move and really try to help focus on helping a lot of organizations with sharing their missions and values and helping their businesses grow. And I felt like it was also good timing with our family situation too, to get the ball rolling with it. And I've been wanting to do the entrepreneurial venture for a very long time. That's actually what I went to school for, and it was really a happy accident that I fell into philanthropy 14 years ago.
Fortunate fall. I like it. So you start this consulting gig. So I always love it as a lawyer. I always love it when people tell me they're in consulting, because it's like the George Costanza of I'm a consultant. But you have a very specific area of consulting. So let's jump into it. What's the name of your new business, and what are you guys going to be focused on?
Well, to be very clear, I'm not a latex consultant like George Costanza was. But the name of the company is Daniel J. Fields Consulting, LLC, and we'll be focusing on four key areas. Philanthropy advising will be really the one of the primary focuses. That's where I have a large portion of my career devoted to helping nonprofit grow and thrive, and there's a lot of areas of philanthropy that can also translate into helping guide some for-profit companies in the area of business development and sales. There's a lot of principles in the areas of cultivation and prospecting and solicitation and stewardship that really translate pretty effectively, but a lot of organizations aren't maximizing how they function in those areas. So those will be two of the areas: philanthropy advising and business development. And then the third area will be public affairs, helping organizations craft and deliver messages that help maximize their mission and vision in both a mass communication type way and also individually with helping organizations build a powerful network of relationships that can help them really communicate effectively and grow their business. And then the last area is going to be corporate social responsibility. There's a lot of organizations that don't place enough of a priority on investing their philanthropic and marketing dollars into the community in a way that helps maximize the business value as well as the community and global impact in the areas where they do business. So I'll be able to help some companies and organizations with some of those decisions and strategies around that.
I would imagine in a COVID-19 world, you're going to be an asset to a lot of companies that are in I've talked to a lot of charitable organizations right now, and I know that that's just a small part of what you're going to be doing. I get that you're going to be doing public affairs and also social responsibility or corporate social responsibility, but I would imagine talking to those charitable organizations, those 501c3s, they are hemorrhaging right now, and they are trying to stay afloat and ride the storm. Someone with your expertise, someone with your skill set should be very helpful to them. So that's going to be an exciting endeavor for you. I guess the question I have for you is, well, I've got a couple questions. One, what has been the hardest part of transitioning from the old gig into this new entrepreneurial space, from your perspective?
Well, I think first going from a health system that was pretty robust with over 15,000 employees to an agency of one right now with me, certainly as an entrepreneur, and you understand this well, Franz, is that you have to have your hands in everything. And,
right.
And my wife, she and I were joking the other day on a trip back from Thibodeau that the way that I'm starting my business is very different from how she started hers. Where she did all of the logistics and all of the forms and the paperwork, and I immediately went into the things that I'm most passionate about, and I started making phone calls to people and having just a lot of good individual conversations with people. And what I liked about that opportunity is that I could express to all of those people how grateful I was for their contributions to my life over the last several years. And really, I think when I look at what's been hard about it, it's been more exciting than hard at this point. So I'm sure that any entrepreneurial venture is going to have some hard issues to tackle, but I'm having a lot of fun doing this now.
I would imagine your network from working with the hospital, that network afforded you an opportunity to meet a whole bunch of great people, to interact with a whole bunch of different businesses. And so that definitely seems like it would have been a mechanism of leverage into transitioning. People ask me all the time, Danny, like, why do you do all this crazy Geaux Rouge stuff? And candidly, the answer is, one, it helps the community and I enjoy doing it, which is the big thing. But the other smaller part of it is, as a criminal defense attorney, nobody wanted to hang out with me. The business report wasn't calling me up saying, hey, you want to come to this leadership breakfast? But you do something a little bit disruptive, and all of a sudden you get to network with folks that really can not only allow you to help them, but they can help you as well. So I like this model. And look, as a entrepreneur who's an army of one like yourself, I definitely appreciate where you're coming from. If folks want to get more information about this cool dude, Danny Fields, where would they go?
So right now, the website is still being developed and is not quite at launching stage. So right now, the best way to find out more is to go to Facebook, Daniel J. Fields Consulting, LLC. You can also look me up on LinkedIn. We'll be sharing some ideas and best practices there as well. Individually on LinkedIn, I'm Danny Fields. And it's my hope is that this is able to help some local clients as well as national. In my relationships with leading our Children's Miracle Network program for over a decade, I was able to connect with a lot of people across the United States and Canada. And Franz, you mentioned the criminal defense attorney thing to me more than once. I really applaud the work that you're doing in the community with this show and other great efforts. It's really a pivotal stance that you have a good corporate social responsibility response, and I appreciate you for that.
So I have the easy job, right? I have the easy job of I just find people I want to hang out with and talk to. COVID made it to where I couldn't actually have you in the studio, but if I decide tomorrow, hey, I want to hang out with Danny, I invite him on the radio show and you come on and you get to talk and share your world with me, and I win on that. So I feel like I'm taking more than I'm giving, but I'll take your compliment. Look, we got about a minute, Danny, before we roll for the first segment. What should we be looking forward to in the Danny Fields world in the near future? I mean, website's going to be launching soon. I mean, you're just going to take over the Baton Rouge and the community by storm with this consulting gig. What should we be on the lookout for?
Well, I think let's continue to look at ways that we can collaborate with different people around the city, around the state, and around the country, and build some pretty cool projects that add a lot of value to our community, that help make it better. I think it's important to continue to stay active in community organizations, and there will be a lot of great things ahead. As kind of building the plane as I'm flying it. There's not a specific project to name just yet, but it's something that I'm very excited about. I did also want to wager in on this slider debate. I'm going to go at a baker's dozen for you.
Baker's dozen?
Yeah.
Oh, that's God bless. Bless your heart, Danny. Danny,
mainly because you're on video.
Danny Fields. Look, man, we're going to have you back on the show. If there's anything we can do to help you out, congratulations on the new business gig. And Danny Fields, good people, as well as has a great sense of fashion for COVID-19. If you've ever seen any of his conference posts where he's dressed to the nines for Zoom calls. Danny, have a great day, brother, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Franz. Good talking with you.
So we're going to take our first break for segment number 1, and then we're going to come back and talk poop about sliders And we're going to have artist Abe from Abe's Drawing on. Stick around and come back. So Facebook Live, you're still on. Look, this whole idea that I can't eat 20 sliders. Let's talk about this for a second. I'm going to have to teach you guys what the power of will means. When it comes to stupid bets, now look, we're going to try to have a charity component of this competition, right? I mean, it's not going to just be me eating burgers for the sake of eating burgers. There'll be some kind of let's help.
No, and I haven't figured that part out yet.
Yeah,
but it does need to happen.
We'll talk about it. But when it comes to stupid bets and me doing stupid things to win stupid bets, I there's no limit to what I will do to defile myself to win. So if that means eating 20 burgers, if that's the cross I have to bear, Brian Haldane, I'll bear that cross. Baker's dozen.
Baker's dozen is a serious amount.
That's 13.
Of sliders.
That's 13 sliders.
13
you don't think I can do 10? So if I do 10, I win.
No, if you do 20, you win because this is your mouth writing the check here.
I feel like there needs to be a plaque. You know, I like plaques.
I don't know where you got the other plaque from, but that's not.
I didn't make it. That's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kev. It was Kev.
Which is still you, but it's so.
I'm not Kev.
Okay. But we're talking about just the sheer physics of it. Forget about will. You have to acknowledge science.
Yeah.
And you're talking about
no same matter can occupy the same space. I think I read that in like Time Cop or something. That was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, Time Cop. That's right. I just went there.
Yeah, you flew right past me on that one.
You never saw Time Cop?
No.
Oh my God! Did you see Universal Soldier?
No.
Also Jean-Claude Van Damme. Stick around, guys. We're about to come back in for segment number 2 of episode 40 of the Geaux Rouge Show. Dude, I'm so excited. I'm going to hit 50. We're going to have a party when we hit 50 episodes. I'm telling you right now. I mean, it'll be a COVID party, but it'll be a party.
Well, I mean, so 10 weeks from now, we'd probably be in phase 3. We can have a party.
You think we're going to be in phase 3 in 10 weeks? I've already told you what I think about that. 2021.
Well,
is 10 weeks 2021?
It's close.
Yeah. We're going to be I'm predicting Christmas phase 2. I hope I'm wrong. By the way, I hope I'm very wrong.
There is mounting pressure against that, so.
What are you going to do? What's the music coming back in going to be? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I'll pick it at random.
I want some old school North Shore kind of thing. Something brings me back to Brian Haldane days. Mean Streets.
I mean, old school and North Shore probably means country music.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, I was the only one listening to hip-hop when all my friends were listening to Garth Brooks and Brooks and Dunn and John Michael Montgomery and who's the one that did Chattahoochee and Alan Jackson and George Strait. And I was over there listening to like Snoop and Warren G.
That raises the question. What music do you listen to eat 20 sliders?
Whatever suppresses that gag reflex when you get around 14 and you realize.
I'm not about suppression, Brian Haldane. I don't suppress anything.
Dude, look, if you puke on camera, it's not going to look good on Smalls.
I'm going to win some kind of award if I puke on camera. It's about the views.
And then there's that.
Yeah.
Which is the other reason it has to happen in studio.
Yeah, they don't, look, no disrespect to Smalls, but we have to do this in air conditioning. It has to, nobody wants to listen, and by the way, nobody wants to listen to that. They want to see it on video.
G4,
Eat it.
G02.
Eat it.
All right. Who you got next? Abe Vigoda?
Yeah, sure.
I may have deleted the email. Damn it. Give me one more second. Sorry.
Nothing but professionals around here, folks. Brian Haldane. Abe's Drawing. Abe Negaran. Negaran. Ask him how to pronounce his name.
You two are tight?
I don't know if we're tight. Ask him how to pronounce his last name. Love you, Abe. Hope you're not watching Abe.
Straight to voicemail.
Oh, that's not good.
Hey, Abe, this is Brian with Talk 1073. That's probably you calling it. Talk 1073. Hello.
How do you say your last name? How do you say your last name?
Pronounce your last name for me. All right. Hang tight. We're about to get the second segment started, and Franz is coming your way, okay? Negaran.
Negaran. Yeah, that's what I said, right? Negaran.
Stand by.
Nothing but professionals around here. All right, welcome back to the second segment of the Geaux Rouge Show, episode 40. 10 more, and I get a set of steak knives. We've been talking to some great folks this week. In our second segment, we're going to have a burger slider competition discussion. I have self-challenged myself to eat 20 of the small sliders. There's a lot of doubt. There's a lot of doubt in whether or not I can do it. We're going to have that discussion at the second half of the segment. The first half of the segment, we're going to be talking to an artist who's also an engineer, Abe Negaran. But before we do that, let's introduce you guys to our sponsors who make the Geaux Rouge Show possible. We have the Smith Shanklin Sosa Personal Injury Law Firm. They're your go-to personal injury attorneys. Breck Parks, Sullivan's Steakhouse, your neighborhood steakhouse, by the way. One of the best burgers in Baton Rouge, believe it or not. Sullivan's Steakhouse. The Borkart Law Firm, the who's who of criminal defense firms. It's the Cadillac, nay, the Mercedes of criminal defense firms, the Borkart Law Firm. That's my law firm. That's where I work. Louisiana Tech Park. And last but not least, La Divina Italian Cafe, serving selected tasty beverages, wines, ice-cold beers, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosa. Sounds tasty. La Divina, definitely check them out. Great place to get brunch, by the way. So without further ado, our first guest up for this segment is Abe. What's up, buddy?
How you doing, man?
So I had the
How was everything?
All right. So look, I had the pleasure of encountering you for the first time at a little shop some people know as Sweet Baton Rouge. Opened up in Electric Depot. I was having trouble there for a minute. Thank you, Brian. And I walked in and I saw some of your art, man. And I asked Meredith, who owns the place, I said, "Did you draw this?" And she kind of laughed and said, "No, I didn't draw this." And I said, "Well, tell me the backstory." So with that, Abe, you are actually of Abe's drawing. If you go on Instagram, you're actually an engineer by day, right?
Yes. By day, I'm an engineer, and by night, I basically am an artist. That's how I view myself.
Uh-oh. So what kind of engineer are you?
I'm an environmental engineer for PPM Consultants here
All right.
in Baton Rouge.
So how did you get into art? And you have an interesting way of doing your art, right? It involves, now not all of it does, but your art involves the use of toothpicks, right?
Yes, sir. So it's as simple as dipping the toothpick into a paint jar, and I draw with my toothpick, and it acts like a pen on a piece of paper.
So how did you get, okay, look, I got to ask, how did you figure that one out?
Well, that question has been dawning on me for the past couple of years because it's very difficult to understand how that even started. And well, first I used to do these specific designs on a piece of paper with a pen and paper,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
And I wanted to market myself. I wanted to sell my art pieces, and I don't think my design. In my head, I didn't think my designs would sell well with just paper and pen.
So let me interrupt
So
you. Let me interrupt
sir.
you. Okay. At some point in our history, Abe, I don't know if you like hot bread. At some point, some caveman somewhere figured out that if they did certain things and mixed yeast, that they would make bread, right? And I always marvel at innovation, right? You at some point realized you had to have the art skills, right? But at some point you realized, hey, if I use a toothpick, that'll set me apart from everybody else, right? And look,
Yeah.
and I'm not, and so everybody who's listening gets it. When you go to Abe's Drawings or Abe's Drawing on Instagram, the dude can make incredible art. I mean, there's a reason you're on the radio today.
Thank you.
I mean, I bought two pieces. From Sweet Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that.
Talk to me about that bridge between pen and toothpick. That's what I want to get to. That was a long way of me getting there.
So I wanted to market myself. I wanted to use paint because people like paintings, not pen and art and pen on paper kind of type of art. So I decided to resort to different methods of copying my designs with paint.
Okay.
And I did that with I used to dip a pen in the paint and draw that way. So I was like, that's a little weird. That's a little odd. So I'm going to go a little more odd, and I'm going to dip a toothpick in there and splash it all over the painting, and let's see what we get. And I did, and it resulted in me really diving in and finding out which toothpick would basically provide me the best results when it comes to drawing the lines and stuff like that.
So there's different toothpicks that are used for different.
Yes, basically.
Okay.
So the one in Albertsons is actually the best one. So I go to Albertsons all the time and get my toothpicks from there because they have the best ones.
I love this.
And no one knows that. No one knows that. I love toothpicks. No one else does. You should see my car. There's toothpicks all over the place.
So look, I'm sitting on your Instagram as I talk to you. I'm sitting on your Instagram page. You also did a piece for your home that's in your living room that's a little different as well, right?
Yes, sir.
So talk to me a little bit about that.
So I have recently, about 3 weeks ago, I transitioned over to a new type of art in which it involves glue and silver leaf, as simple as that. And the results were fantastic, and it really brightens up my home and hopefully other people's homes. I am building an inventory and a website for this new type of art, and hopefully
it looks very cool. By the way, if you go to the if you go to the Instagram, I mean, that material is what? Because it looks like you used it. It looks metallic in nature, right? What is that? Yes, sir. What is that?
It's actually it's silver leaf. It's like gold leaf, but it's silver. That's basically what it is.
So I like your art so much, Abe. Not only did I put Abe on the show, I've already commissioned an octopus piece. And for those who don't know, I have a thing for octopuses. Yes, the plural can be octopuses or octopi. So you're already working on a piece for me, right? And in fact, it's rather what I told you, 2 feet in diameter. So
yes.
Now some of your works, Abe, involve wood carving, correct?
Yes.
So
some of my work involves wood carving. Yes.
Right. So how does that happen for you? Talk to me a little bit about the process.
That started with some of my friends wanting my designs, but on wood.
Right.
And I didn't want to necessarily put paint on wood. That's a little weird. So I decided to get a wood burner, and I burnt my design on the wood panels, and that's how I started with that.
So, okay. Transitioning a little bit, because we've got a couple of minutes left with you, Abe. If I wanted to find your art in Baton Rouge right now, where would I go?
You will be able to find it where you had visited before about a month ago at Sweet Baton Rouge.
Yeah, another shout out to Sweet Baton Rouge.
Yes, they really are the best. The owner, Meredith, she is a sweetheart. She really is the best. You can also find my art pieces at 1857 Circa, and that is also on Government Street.
Yeah.
You can find it on there. And, of course, on my Instagram page, Abes Drawings, ABES Drawings.
So you're an engineer by day, artist by side hustle. I'll call it side hustle, hobby, whatever you want to call it. Talk to me a little bit about your plans, because you've got a lot. Look, man, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. You got a lot of talent. I like your art. What's the future for you?
Well, my future is to develop my artwork even further. I always do this. Whenever I go from work to the house in my car, I'm always thinking about new art ideas, and that's basically what I do. It's a blessing and a curse, I would say. It really is, because I keep thinking, and I don't have enough time in the day to do it because I work, and then I come home and I do my commission work, such as the octopus.
No rush. No rush on that, man. I mean, as soon as you want to get paid, no, but I'm joking. But no, but so the flip side of this is that's the luxury of my world is I get to meet cool artists all the time, and I'm like, hey, can you make me a specialty whatever and commission this? And most of them are like, yeah, I can do that. And so I end up with like personalized things that I love. And by the way, folks, if you're listening, the idea for the octopus, if you go again to Abes drawings, and I'm going to do it in real time so everybody can look at the same thing I'm looking at. Go to the second photo is a crawfish. It's like a circular object. Click on that. That thing is so cool to me, and I wanted that in an octopus format. Now it'll be my octopus will be square. So yeah, dude, amazing work you're doing. Again, I hope you keep developing the art. Look, I know you have the day job that pays the bills and everything, but look, I'm just saying, if you want to dedicate some time, guys, Abe Negaran, again, you can find his stuff at Circa. You can find his stuff at Sweet Baton Rouge. By the way, real fast, we got about a minute left for you. How did you connect up with Meredith in Sweet Baton Rouge?
I had wanted to go to certain art fairs around Baton Rouge, and I saw one of her art fairs down in Perkins Row, and I decided to join, and she loved my artwork so much, she asked me if I would be interested to have my artwork in her shop, and that's how it happened.
Awesome. Awesome. So, anything on the horizon we need to talk about? I know COVID threw a curveball to everybody, right? You were at pop-ups, like kind of events, right?
Yes, I was.
So what are you going to do to be disruptive in this COVID world? What are we going to do to get you out there and get people connected to you? It's not a trick question.
Basically follow me on Abe's drawings and see me hopefully at the next art fair.
That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Abe, thank you for joining us. I'm very excited that we were able to connect. And look, guys, Abe's drawing, I'm going to say it again, Abe's drawing. Go to his Instagram. Tell him, if you buy a piece of art, tell him that I sent you so that later I can negotiate a better deal on art. I'm kidding.
Yes, sir.
Kidding.
10% discount.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Abe, have a great day, man. Thank you for joining us. All right. So before we get into this conversation, which has nothing to do with anything other than eating sliders, I want to remind everybody that we need to get you to send us show topic ideas to info@GauxRouge.com. And if you want more information, or if you want to watch on-demand episodes, you can either go to www.GauxRouge.com or www.talk1073.com. On demand, all 40 Geaux Rouge episodes. Do me a favor. If you watch on YouTube, hit our YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 50 followers. I know that sounds lame, Brian, but I want to hit 50. I want to have 50 followers on YouTube. And I'm like at 47, 48. All right, so sleeves rolled up. Let's talk. So prefacing this with sometimes my mouth, as you guys know, listening, my mouth writes checks that my body cannot cash. Right?
Yes.
And on this one, we were having a conversation on Brian's wonderful morning show, Mornings with Brian Haldane, about the best burgers in Baton Rouge. And I decided to say, you know what? Sliders aren't real burgers. And I made a post about it. Now, let me say this. I absolutely love small sliders.
Yes.
But ideologically, it's not really a burger. It's something else. It's a slider. So, having said that, got into a conversation on the air with Chuck P. and Brian Haldane about how many sliders could Franz Borkart eat in a sitting.
Yes.
So Brian threw down the gauntlet that he said, I don't think you can eat more than 6, which is like child's play.
No, I said I can't eat more than 6. I personally
can eat
cannot more than
6 in my sleep.
Okay, that's super, but there's still a big difference between 6 and 20.
So this is where ego got in the way.
Yeah.
This is where mistakes were made. I said, I think I could eat 20 of them. I could have gone lower. I could have said, Brian, I could eat 10. And that would have been a safe, conservative number. But I said 20.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier in the show, never underestimate the manner in which I will defile myself to win a stupid bet.
So we followed up on this, and
Right.
I reached out to Jacob at Small Sliders because Jacob is always looking to do something that is outside of the box.
Right.
And this would definitely fall into that.
And they're in fact
he's-
thinking about doing a sliders competition for guests. Like you eat a certain amount of sliders, you get a gift card or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they have. That's not on the board yet.
Right,
but
but it's-
but this could be a good starter for it. And so Jacobs has agreed. 20 sliders. They will be placed in front of you. Now we got to set the parameters for this thing, man. We got
Let's talk
to
about
figure out what we're actually doing here.
So I think it has to be one setting. Rules. There
Okay.
has to be rules. This isn't NOM. There are rules. One setting. Okay? Cannot leave the table to use the bathroom.
Right.
Okay. Now you've mentioned time.
Yes.
So I think what is fair, because I don't like this idea of time, but I understand the abuse of not having time, right? I understand we could be there for 5 hours while I'm slowly eating.
Correct.
20. I think it needs to be a certain amount of burgers per hour.
Per hour?
I think you need to get, I think 20 in an hour is fair. Chuck, how many burgers do you want me? It's not a speed competition.
This has got to be about, I don't know, maybe half of that. Yeah, let's get Chuck in here.
Hold on a
Crying out
second.
loud.
That's not. When did this become a speed comp?
You got to think about this, Franz. Most restaurants that have these things where it's like, how much can you eat? They're all based on a certain amount of time.
Chuck,
like,
slide over. You're not on camera. Slide over.
Slide over. Like you
Am I still on camera? I'm not even on
Yes,
camera on my
you're
own
good.
show.
Like you have to eat 10 of the hottest wings ever, but you have 30 minutes to do
I
it.
think 2 minutes. Let's do. What about 45 minutes? That's fair. That's 2 minutes per burger with change.
45 minutes.
That's not unreasonable.
No, it's not unreasonable, but at the same time, though, I think
I won't
once you
need
get
for-
past 25, once you get past 25 minutes, your stomach's done.
Hear me.
Scientifically.
Hear me. I won't need 45 minutes to handle this.
Okay.
I'm just
So,
saying.
all right,
I don't
20 burgers in 30 minutes then.
And that's why I wanted to start at 30.
I think
Oh,
45 is a fair number.
Here's the thing. If you're not going fast, you're going to lose. Okay? This is
let-
very Ricky Bobby.
Let me choose the way in which I'm going to lose.
Okay.
45 minutes is a fair way of doing it.
All right.
Okay. And bonus points, I'll tell you what. So there is a charity component of this conversation. We haven't figured it out yet. We are going to endeavor to make this a charitable endeavor, and I would say hurricane relief is kind of what's on my brain.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be an incentive if I finish in half of the 45.
Okay.
Like if I can do 20 burgers in less than half of 45, which is 23 minutes, 22 minutes.
Sure.
There needs to be a golden carrot or something. Oh,
Okay.
God, this is going to be so
Something.
horrible.
Now,
And their sliders are so good. It's
I
like
know.
Part of me, I got to tell you guys, part of me is like, man, this is going to ruin sliders for me forever.
I don't think so.
no.
Not forever. It might take you out the game for a minute, but
I don't do a lot of carbs.
Okay.
So
No, I
there's
know.
another component
I know.
of this.
Yeah.
like Brian said the other day, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but we were talking about this. You said 20 regular sliders
Yeah, cheese. I want cheese on there.
are equals
cheese
equals
smoss,
Say again?
the sauce.
smoss,
Okay, yeah,
small
sure.
sauce. Yeah.
But that equals 10 quarter pounders.
Basically, yes.
I ain't scared.
All right.
I ain't scared. So when are we going to do this? Do we need about 2 weeks?
So, and that's what I wanted to leave up to you. Now, first of all, this cannot be part of Foodie Friday on my show because Foodie Friday is presented by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council.
Well, what's
and
in a slider?
This would be. I don't
Beef?
think they want to promote gluttony.
Yeah. Or you
Along the
toss
way.
your cookies everywhere.
whoa, whoa,
And no. Yes, they use
Not
fantastic.
to lawyer my way out of this situation, but it's not gluttony. It's about doing hurricane relief. We're going to raise
via
money.
gluttony.
Yeah.
You can't separate these
Using
two things.
the banner of hurricane relief to cover your gluttony.
I do think it needs to be at a lunch setting. I think we need to do it here on a day that we're not recording something on Talk 107.3
I agree with
studio.
both of these things.
So
Yes.
maybe on not this Friday.
But the next,
I think
And we'll-
like the 11th or the 18th. You pick. You talk to your boy, and we'll advertise this. September 11th, I feel like that's kind of inappropriate.
Yeah. Well.
Like I feel
Are you
like
really going to put that on a tee for me to make a joke that gets me fired from everywhere?
No.
Okay.
September 18th.
September 18th.
Friday, September 18th at lunchtime here.
Okay.
Because we got to do it on Facebook, right?
Sure.
Nobody wants
Has
to listen
to be on Facebook.
No, it's got to be on Facebook, and
Yeah.
as long as we have a nice window in between the conclusion of Foodie Friday and the beginning of 9/18 disasters.
So I need now. Look, I don't mean to be high maintenance because
No,
I'm
not
never
you.
high maintenance
Not you.
or extra. These have to be. If we're going to do it here, have to be hot. I mean,
Yes.
I don't want these sliders that have been sitting for I don't want that to be the reason I can't.
Well,
eat
I'm sure
20.
they'll show up hot, but then room temperature is going to be factored upon how
Anything
fast
you
you're
have
going to
in
eat
the room for 45 minutes
Yeah.
is going to get a little bit.
We
I'm
can't put
gonna-
a heat lamp over the stack.
I'm going to handle these sliders like a Mongolian raiding party destroying a village. That's what's going to happen.
Okay.
I'll take the 45, but it's going to be less than that. Now, beverages. There has to be water as a component.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
will be water as a component.
Okay. I mean, yeah, no bathroom using, one sitting.
One sitting.
Now,
Are you going to dunk or are you just
no,
going
I'm-
to drink?
I'm dunk. I'm not going to ruin I'm eating
saying.
these. So the other thing is we got to discuss how much time we got. We got a little bit of
We
time.
got about 3 minutes.
So we got to figure out the charity component. And somebody suggested maybe making a bidding system of donating a certain amount per slider that I eat.
Yes.
And then people can bet against me. Now look, it's all donations, so
Okay, so if you're betting for Franz, and this would be more of a sponsorship than a bet,
Right.
maybe $5 per slider.
Yeah.
That would max you out at a $100 donation across the board. Conversely, if you're betting against Franz, how about $10 for everyone you come up short?
okay. Well, I will.
That way, if you cap out at 10, somebody's making a $100
I'm
donation.
hesitant to say this, but I will say it. I will match.
Bro.
Up to $1,000.
Okay.
Wow.
I will match up to $1,000 in contributions from the Borkart Law Firm. Mm-hmm. So actually, Geaux Rouge will do it. Geaux Rouge's got a little bit of money.
Okay.
So Geaux Rouge will match. The show will match up to $1,000 in money of
Right.
contributions.
All right.
So if we get to 1,000, now Jaron from another radio TV show that we're not going to mention. Jaron,
We can mention he's with BR Proud. He's with 33.
I mean,
wait, Jaron's with 33, right?
I don't know what day of the week is it. I don't know. Jaron is with 33. He's trying to raise $5,000. I'm going to talk to him about the charity. He has a lot of people out there. He actually was the one who reached out to me.
Got it right.
But yeah, betting for. I'm gonna let you make I'm gonna let Brian Haldane design the betting grid in terms of donation. Chuck, what else do we need to do that we haven't thought about?
Do you want to roll your donation into Jaron's to be, because that would really propel him, like right off the bat, he'd be halfway to his goal.
Yeah, I think it's
a good idea.
Now I'm only matching, so I'm only going to donate if we actually
No,
get.
I know. So if we get up to 1,000 and then your match 1,000, that puts it at $2,000 rolling
Yeah.
over towards Jaron's goal.
Yeah.
And then anything above and beyond that, we can collect along the way as well.
I think $100 per burger is doable for us. I think we can do that. I think people can get us there. And look, a lot of people want to be. If I get sick on air, that should have a value too.
Okay, so
Oh, yeah,
these
that's
are like Vegas prop bets on the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Okay,
right,
all right.
right.
I like this.
So
I like where this is going.
commit to this right now. If Franz Borghardt vomits on air, I'm good for
Yes.
$50.
Yeah,
You're good for 50.
I'm good for 50.
I too am good for $50 on that one.
So do we need a referee to make sure that the rules are followed?
I think Jacob's going to do that.
Jacob's.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have Jacob from Smalls
so
handle that.
cheeseburger slider
Cheese
with the
Smoss.
With the
smoss,
sauce.
and that's it. No fries. No.
No fries.
Just
Pickle?
the bur-
They come dressed with a pickle? Are you
It
a
can-
pickle guy?
It can be. Oh, do I love pickles?
Okay.
Well, all right, there you
All
go.
right. I mean, 20 of them now.
I don't want to set a burger in front of you.
Now look, I am appreciative of these 20 burgers. Don't take what I'm about to say as a lack of appreciation. What if I hit 20 and I'm still hungry? I mean,
Well,
do I
then
just
we
do the
can pick up
victory?
and-
Do I just victory lap at that point?
I mean,
I puke in the parking lot, running around the building.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend running after this at all. I'd recommend nap.
So look, all joking aside, I know we're running out of time.
Yeah.
All joking aside, I would love for us to have fun, raise a little bit of money for the Lake Charles community, those affected by the hurricane. We got very blessed this time around that we didn't get a lot of damage. And I know that we have some storms out there that are hanging around. For more information on that, definitely be listening to Brian Haldane as well as Josh Eaches from WBRZ.
Yes.
See what I did there?
It was good.
So, yeah, I like this. September 18th, lunchtime, That's about it for this episode, guys. Stick around. We'll be talking. I'm sure we'll talk about this more tomorrow.
Of course.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good week. Facebook Live, Tiffany specifically. Tiffany, can I do 20? Can I do 20? I'm just throwing that. I think I can do 20. Moscona seems to think I can do 20. Or he was just being nice. He may have just been nice. Facebook, thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. I'll see y'all later.